Hey, hello, friends and family. Nice to have you back. I appreciate you watching and staying tuned in. I'm feeling that the return path messages are making a very positive impact. I'm getting a lot of great feedback, some questions. I'm going to do my best to release a series of videos expanding upon the teachings and messages to offer further clarity and in-depth discussion. I'm thinking of actually activating a live stream on a consistent basis. So I'm open to receiving your feedback on that. And I suppose when I'm live streaming, it's still a recording irregardless. Nonetheless, I'm always open to your feedback. I'm doing this for everyone and all my relations. So your feedback is important and valued. So thank you for that. And I'd like to respond to a few immediate questions. A lot of people are asking about the fires. When can we expect them? When are they going to happen? Where are they going to happen? And so on. I would like to kindly remind everyone that it's happening. As Grandfather Martin said many times when I was with him, these things are getting onward. Unfortunately, people have procrastinated. We don't want to give away or give up our luxuries and our conveniences, the things that make us comfortable and feel safe. We don't want to take that chance in letting go of the systems and the lifestyles that don't serve us any longer. So until people are willing to give these things up and accept that we don't need them, that they're an illusion, that we can live in balance and harmony, until we reach that decision collectively, nothing's going to change. We're all going to continue to be slaves of the system. And that's intended. That's the way it's set up. That's the way it's designed. With respect to the fires, we can see them all around us. And they're going to become more frequent as long as our biosphere and our environment is out of balance. This is the way that the earth recalibrates or balances herself. This is the way she cleanses. This is what the purification is all about. This is the way that we chose for things to happen. As above, so below. It's happening within ourselves, around us, within our communities, our families, as well as the environment, as well as the earth. So it's happening on micro, macro scales. Purifying is just like cleansing. If you do a fast or a cleanse, you want to purify your body. You want to reach a level of optimum health. Listen, follow the signs, follow your intelligence, talk to your friends and family, speak about these things, have discussions. At the end of the day, these things are happening and there's no denying it. It's all around us. The ocean, the winds, the fires, earthquakes, it's all happening and it's going to increase to levels that we've never seen before. So I just want to remind you that the universe speaks in metaphors, as do a lot of these prophecies. It's micro, macro comparisons. It's non-linear. Just like we said that Hopi land is a microcosm of the earth. So whatever happens in Hopi happens on a larger scale. Whatever happens here on earth is being reflected and pulsated and felt throughout the universe. We're all related. We're all connected. Same thing with the sun, for example. It's a feedback loop, essentially. We're electromagnetic beings. We're made out of light. We're held together by sound and vibration. And we're interacting not only with the planets, but with our sun. And we're going through huge levels of destruction and chaos and fear and anxiety and depression. And so we have to be careful. It's just like the instant manifestation of our thoughts and feelings. That's coming more and more into a literal effect or experience now that we're merging into the fifth world. The fifth world is essentially the third and fourth dimensions merging. So it's the physical plane and the spiritual plane coming together as one. So you can only imagine when that happens that our thoughts and emotions are instantly manifest, which is good reason why we have to really be focused and intentional by how we communicate and what we think. Hence, creating our own reality. I would encourage everybody to bring the questioning, any fear. Don't worry about the fine points. Feel it. Bring it into your heart. Your heart never lies. Remember, micro, macro, metaphors. Don't be too focused on the details. These prophecies were revealed as visions, essentially. They came to elders, wisdom keepers, and medicine people as visions, regardless of how it's going to be caused. This is one of the primary reasons I felt so called and urgent to put these messages on YouTube, because It's time. It's happening all around us. These things are getting onward. So at the end of the day, follow your instinct and your knowing. The instinct is one of the strongest gifts that a woman has. That's why women are our best leaders. That's why societies, cultures, and indigenous traditions throughout the world, ancient cultures, have all had matriarchal rulership. Because women are not caught in their egos and their minds. They listen to their heart. They're intuitive beings. They feel and sense. They don't just think. And the way that these systems are being run is not working. The reawakening of the divine feminine is essentially bringing the feminine balance, bringing the matriarch back in to recalibrate and bring balance, not to completely take over and tip the scales in the opposite direction. We're looking for balance. Several of you have been asking me about safe places and where to go. Well, that's up to your instinct. Obviously, you want to be tuned into your resources. You also want to be tuned into geology and weather patterns. It's important to know where you are, the land, the area. For example, if you're in an earthquake zone, if you're in a zone for tornadoes or hurricanes, if you're in a zone that's a floodplain, if you're in a zone that's apt to droughts or high temperatures, or even cold temperatures. Anything extreme you want to avoid. So for example, some people ask me, well, where would a safe place be in Canada? My suggestion would be anywhere around the Canadian Shield in Ontario or Quebec. It's very solid earth, very solid ground. Unless you're around the Great Lakes or the St. Lawrence, you're not subjected to a lot of earthquakes. The climate there is variable. The lands are good to grow. Clearly, you want to be able to grow your food wherever you are. Okay, so you want good land, good soil, good nutrients. What's the first thing that we want to have? Water, a good source of clean drinking water, preferably at the headwaters of a spring or a stream, so that you know exactly what may or may not be going into the water as far as runoff from farms, pesticides, chemicals, pollution, sewage, it's so on and so forth. You want to be able to build shelter, all the basic things. But these are considerations that you want to make when you're deciding where you should go. I would more focus, by the way, when it comes to food on dehydration, so dehydrating food, not being worried about squirreling away and hoarding a bunch of supplies. Because first and foremost, what are you going to do to transport these things if you're not going to stay where you are and where they're being stored currently? We need to consider the fact that we need to be growing as much food as we can to provide ourselves with the nutrients and abundance. This has nothing to do with being a prepper or being paranoid. It's not about if it's going to happen. It's about when. And I'm sure we can all agree that the when is knocking on our door. These are the things that you need to consider. It's time to take action. Stop thinking about it. Stop procrastinating. Take the necessary steps. Look at your game plan and prepare your nest. Make decisions and do what you need to do for you and your family. It's also important to know that in most cases we can't do it ourselves, and the time of the lone wolf is over. We need to work together. We need to help each other and work as community. Come unity. Let's come together. One of the biggest things that I feel that could really help people too is to get into the frame of mind that we are not separate from nature. We're not separate from the tree, from the earth, the bear, the eagle, the water. We're not separate from any of it, nor the sun, nor the air. We are nature. We are a product of nature. We are made of stardust from particles from all over the universe. We are made from the elements of this beautiful planet, of Mother Earth. We are of the earth. We are nature. We're not separate from it. And when we can start to accept that and realize that we are all in sync with this beautiful force, then we have to care for her like we do for each other, for ourselves and our families. How can we disrespect and disregard something that we are ultimately part of? Let that sink in. You love nature, you take care of nature, you love yourself. She takes care of you. It's very simple. Everything we have, everything we will have and ever have had is from the earth. It's all derived from the earth. We are all products of this earth. I'm going to continue to expand on a lot of things. My next set of videos are going to continue to answer questions, but also I'm going to begin to expand on the Middle Earth, Agartha. Question this. Investigate the flights of Admiral Byrd. And ask yourself why, after his second and third flights, why his diary was taken and why he was labeled as a psycho or insane. Then investigate Nicholas Roerich, who has also had experiences in Agartha. In fact, his museum in New York contains many depictions and visions from Agartha. You've seen the symbol in my videos. There are 3 circles, the red circles surrounded by 1 circle, okay? That's art, science, and spirituality surrounded by culture. That banner or that flag is the Universal Peace flag or the Universal Peace banner that was brought back and given to Nicholas Roerich from Agartha. Look it up. Now we have scientists, archaeologists, military and government digging in Chaco Canyon and closing it off to the public, prohibiting entry. And they're taking artifacts and they're discovering tunnels and entrances and chambers, which are all linked to what I told you about before, which is the Ancient Arrow Project. The other thing to consider, Tibetans, a culture that is ancient and greatly admired, strongly believe that the holy city of Shambhala is located in the center of the earth, and that one of the entry points is in the Himalayas. The Russians have been leading expeditions to the North Pole, specifically to take people to find the entry point to Agartha. This has been happening since the late 2000s. Why do you think the US government and militaries do not want anyone traveling to Antarctica, which is exactly where Admiral Byrd flew to and entered? Why do you think it's prohibited to enter that airspace? Irregardless, there's plenty of evidence, and I'm going to start to expand on this in my upcoming videos and go into depth about what's been found, researched, and presented, and allow you to make your own decision. So look forward to that. Take care of yourselves. Keep giving me your questions. I'm happy to respond. I'd like some feedback about doing some live streams if people feel that that would be more effective than these recordings moving forward. I wish you all the best. Stay warm, stay inspired, stay healthy, and stay in your heart. Thank you. Blessings. Until next time.